Hey everybody, I am on the line right now with an MMA fighter who is playing an MMA fighter in the new movie Cagefighter. He's a talented mixed martial artist, actor, Alex Montagnani. How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. So the movie's Cagefighter. I know a little bit about it from just knowing that there's a few pro wrestlers in it, but you actually are the star of the movie. You play Reese Gibbons,
Yeah.
and it had a one night only world premiere back in May, but now a lot more people are going to be able to see it on October 9th. It's worldwide on demand in theaters, and it's a story that has a lot of interest. We've seen it before, but it has a new twist in this version. So talk about how you got the role and what interests you about it.
How I got the role, I knew about the Cage Fighter when it was just like a little seed, and Jesse was starting to develop it. And I came on at the start as Reese in the short film that Jesse did. So then I eventually, he started getting funding for it. He asked me to come on board as the fight choreographer and a smaller role. So, and I said, of course, I was excited for it, and he was telling me about the names that were going to be involved before they were all confirmed, making it exciting. And then coming closer to the time, the lead actor who was supposed to play Reese, he had to drop out for personal reasons. And they said, you know what, let's put Alex forward for casting. They put me forward, I think it was like a week of castings back and forth. And then eventually, yeah, they gave me the role. So it was great, man. It's great news for me, and I was super excited to work with everybody and get to showcase my fight choreography skills, my acting skills, and everything in between.
How are you feeling going into the premiere this weekend? Because as I mentioned, they did a one night premiere on Fight in May, but now this is a worldwide release. The US fans are finally getting to see it for the first time. Does this feel any different as far as just, the night before a big fight or the night before a big premiere? Like what kind of energy are you having this week?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited. I wanna see what everyone else thinks of it, because like you said, there's a very limited kind of premiere. I think it was only for the UK and Canada. No, it was the rest of the world, but it was this is America. I feel like is it's kind of the big deal now. I want to see what everyone else thinks. So yeah, I'm a little nervous, but excited at the same time.
When it first happened, this was like very, very early. We didn't know what COVID was, and
Yeah.
people didn't want to talk about it, but you guys got lucky in the fact that the movie was done and you didn't have any shooting issues. So, it's a story that highlights the always present battle. It's MMA fans versus wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Who belongs in what sport? Who's the tougher guy? There's been this debate for what seems like 20 or 30 years. And on the flip side of that coin, there's always been that crossover appeal, at least in more recent years, with the fighters themselves. Like wrestlers think they can go do MMA and vice versa. Is that something that interests you now that you not only got to work on a film with the wrestlers, but maybe have some more insight as to what they go through?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they're tough as nails, man. The things they do, the falls they take, the moves they do. I think it's insane. But again, I would love to give it a go because I'm an athlete and they're athletes, and I'd like to push myself. And I think that's what they do every time they go into that ring. They generally push themselves to the limit, to entertain the fans and the people at home. So yeah, I'd definitely like to give it a go. From the sports type of view, definitely, and an entertainment type of view as well.
When I talked to John at the time, one of the things that really stood out to me was he talked about his preparation. Like, and I've seen him do it in person at wrestling events where he warms himself up, paces around, has his routine, but he said it's really hard to maintain that intensity and that focus when you're doing it like take by take and setting up different scenes. So going into like a training camp, you have your own routine as well. So did you have any issues also during the filming, like keeping that right mindset, staying focused, or anything like that?
Um, a little bit, yeah. I had to kind of go through, like you said, like almost like a fight camp, I guess, to get into as the best shape I could, and diet wise, because you want to again perform the best you can and look the best you can on camera. But in between takes, I think that was tough for me and John because you could be doing like a 10-minute fight sequence and then you're like it's like cut, we're gonna change angle, and it's like 45 minutes until you start shooting again. But you've got to come into that next take with that same intensity you did in the last one. So yeah, that can definitely be tough to do.
And one of the other things he mentioned was he said a wrestling promo is like a dialogue in a movie,
Yeah.
and a fight scene or like like an attack with weapons is relatable like a stunt scene. So is there anything that you tried to like teach yourself or just keep in your mind as something that made the transition easier for you?
Um, I guess I guess when I first started doing choreography, yeah, I did. I just said I wanted to make it look as real as possible. So I just kept thinking about the actual moves and actual way I would fight in the ring. So yeah, and then obviously coming into this film, this is probably like I don't know. I had done a few choreography jobs before, but on smaller productions. So for me, it was just maintaining that same thought throughout this whole production because it wasn't just 1 or 2 days. It was like a week of fight choreography. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was just keeping that in my mind, trying to keep it as real as possible. So if I don't know if I felt like that shot was too fake, we might do another take, or I just keep that in my mind.
Mhm. There's elements of Rocky, Warrior, Southpaw, like those three really came to mind when I was watching this. So again, it's not to give anything away, but it's an underdog story in a way, but there's an unfortunate incident that happens where you're down on your luck and you have to rise above. There's that common theme. So what was the appeal of the movie to you that really just made this one different?
Yeah, I think really it was the cast. Again, being able to work alongside John, Christian, Chuck, and Luke was for like as an athlete wise, that was just amazing for me because we're all great at what we do, and having someone like John across the room from you, as he's a AEW champ. He's like the best at what he does in whether it's the fight wise or it's still his trash talk, and he just being along next to him, you want to raise your bar, raise your level. So he's trash talking in that like a press conference scene, which I'm sure you guys will see. And I was there. I was like, oh my gosh, man, I don't know if I can match this guy, but in my head I was like, you got to try. So like I wanted to push myself. So I think having someone like him, that's kind of what enticed me and really really made me want to push hard for this role.
Yeah, and one of the things, like that's a really great scene because I think it really highlights the MMA crowd being resistant to pro wrestling, and there's even like the guy that does like the hand gesture to you, like, oh yeah, this guy, like, he's putting on a show, but he's so dedicated to everything he does, like the matches themselves. Like I mentioned, like a very quick story, but when I was at a live event last year, I saw him like getting ready for a match, and it was like 3 hours, 4 hours before bell time, and he's like pacing back and forth, like, and you can tell like he's like psyching himself up, and I'm just like, all right, like he cares about the things he does, so he's not taking this movie just to kind of be in a movie. Like there's an interest for him.
Oh, for sure, man, definitely.
Now, if I have the records correctly, I was looking at I'll give a cheap plug to Sherdog's Fight Finder. They're one of our sister sites, but you haven't fought since last May.
Yeah.
So Do you plan around, like, do you plan fights around roles that you can maybe get, or do you vice versa? You plan shoots around fights? Like, how does that work for you? Because I know you've said you really want to make both of these careers work.
Yeah. So yeah, right now I'm playing uh, fights around my acting. So my acting is coming first, and like I said, everyone, I can't give 50% to my acting and 50% to my fighting. It won't work. I'll get beaten because the other person's giving 100%. So if I can have that 3 months to prepare as and go into a fight camp, and I maintain like a high fitness level anyway. So I just need that 3 months like dedication to train, and then I can go and fight. But yeah, if a role comes up, then that's what I'll be jumping towards. Definitely, I'm enjoying it much more now. Especially after this film, it was so much fun. I just want to get back in there and do more features.
You don't seem like a guy that is satisfied just doing one thing. I was checking out your Instagram page. You're also a skater or learning how to skate. Like,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm learning how to skate. I've been skating for about 2 months now, and it's fun, man. It's wicked. And again, I wanna push myself. I've been going like every day to the skate park. So that's one thing. I was trying to learn guitar, and then that fell to the wayside beside the skating. Um, but yeah, I'm always trying to learn new things, whatever I can, man. Again, I've tried to learn multiple languages, but again, that usually falls to the side because something else catches my attention. So
mm,
yeah, yeah,
I always wanted to learn skateboard. I had a brief period where I did, and then I kind of let it go. But there's something about it that, like, like everybody learns how to ride a bike, but like skating is that next kind of
yeah,
thing, like that skill to like uh easy to pick up but difficult to master, I guess.
yeah. No, definitely. You should try, man. You should try, man. Like them, I've been watching loads of stuff on YouTube, like rail skateboarders, and they say you're never too old to learn or anything, man. That's why I was like, I'm doing it. I'm definitely doing it.
Yeah. So before you got this movie, were you like a big pro wrestling fan, or were you a casual watcher? Like, what was your interest level?
Yeah, well, as a kid, I used to love it. In the UK, it was like Saturday morning, and that was when like Mankind was there and stuff like that, Stone Cold, The Rock, and everything. So I used to love it. Um, and then I kind of stopped watching it. But again, when I got this role, I started watching John. I was like, man, this guy is flipping dope. So right now, I'm not. I follow AEW, and now I've been watching it nearly every week because of John. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm enjoying it now. Like I said, they're athletes. They put it on the line every week, and it's flipping dangerous, man. But the theatrics behind it is really enjoyable. So yeah, I'm liking it now.
If I had to put you on the spot, do you have a favorite match? Whether it's from back then or maybe one you just watched on AEW?
What did I watch on it? Who was it? It was Brody Lee. That's the guy with the big beard, right?
Mhm.
Um, it was like last week I watched it, so I don't even know who it was, who he was fighting.
Uh,
but I like that match. He had the belt. He won the belt. Was it Orange Cassidy or something like that? Was that who he fought?
I think, yeah, I think that was last week. Tonight he has the dog collar match against
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes, so that'll be
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Brody's been great on AEW.
Oh yeah, he's cool, man. He's cool. So yeah, that's who I watched last, and that was a good match. And that stuck in my mind. So that's cool.
All right, Alex is. You can catch him coming up this weekend in Cagefighter. It's worldwide, on demand, and in theaters October 9th. Thanks very much for your time, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Cheers. Appreciate that.